Hello, my dear Patreons. I'm finally back with my Bohovich journal. I didn't move with anywhere with this yet. It's like I jinxed it when I was talking. I'm gonna finish that soon. But I did, and it will be put together in the video now. I'm not sure if I already shared that. I did a very simple little journal, so I'm gonna have a look into my videos. I already prepared just small, simple, one single signature. There is, I don't know how many papers. I created these clusters just to give there a little bit of those leaves. I wanted to have something with those leaves. So I added there these leaves and added a selection of papers which I tea-dyed before. I added also papers with my sewing machine. I really like that effect. It's quite cute. I know ladies are using it often. I love how these papers got, tea-dyed. This very dark area, it's when I placed my papers one on each other on the baking plate, and I place it to my oven on 100 degrees, which is very low when you are maybe doing dry fruit. So you are using that very low heat. And I left it there and I forgot, actually, that I do have their papers. So they were in my oven for maybe 10 minutes and the top of the papers was very dark. They was dry. It didn't burn, like they got burnt, not at all, but the top caught all that pigment from tea. So these papers went from the very light. On one side, here was another paper, that was the layer of papers. So here was another paper, and that paper, which was here, had also the top very dark, but when I flip it over, it was this way. And I really love that look. So these are papers I have in this signature. As you can see, I ripped off also parts of these papers to do kind of like not perfect signature, to do them a little bit wonky. I'm not sure on the right word. I distressed very much the edges of my printed paper just to give it texture and the feeling that it was somewhere maybe in the chest for many years. And I forgot to count. I'm gonna count quickly how many papers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 papers folded on half, and I do have my signature. I have here leftover from an old envelope. It's nice and thick material, which I can use for making a cover for my little journal. And I do have here one of these spells. This is abundance spell. And I was thinking this, I would like to have probably inside like a cover or outside like a cover. I'm not sure. So I'm gonna grab one paper, place it open. So I know I can actually cut right in the middle of that envelope. And the size would be, from this fold to this line here. So I'm gonna just grab my ruler, cut it all around where it shows that it will be big enough for my journal. I do have my paper cutted. I used also this corner punch. I used that middle size, and I cut it all corners. I also folded it and tried if I can fit with my signature inside, and it sits exactly. So I'm happy about that. Now I can create some beautiful cover. This I would like to use for outside, and I would like to use actually on the top this beautiful beautiful tissue paper and just collage it on the top. I think it will look amazing. I would like to have there also the look of the fabric underneath, and I'm gonna do that double layer. So first I'm gonna be using cheesecloth and cover all this in cheesecloth. For that I'm gonna be using this 90 grade cheesecloth. I found it on Amazon. I'm gonna put link down below so you can read the informations, and maybe if you wanna use something like this, you can find it in your area. So I'm gonna just glue the cheesecloth on the top of my cardstock. I do have my cheesecloth glued down, and I'm gonna add here this tissue paper. I'm using Mod Podge for gluing, and just with the brush I'm applying the glue like heavily in the cover, and then I will add there the tissue paper. So I do have this cardboard or the cover fully covered with the glue, and I'm gonna just place my tissue on it. And layer it down. And with cloth, it have to be dry cloth. Do not wet my paper, and very carefully just to press it down. And dab, dab, dab. That way I will have hopefully the tissue glued evenly, and now I can let it dry. I have cut that tissue around. I left quite a lot of the fabric and the tissue around that chipboard or the envelope. I'm gonna cut it later. Just right now I'm gonna keep it as it is with those leftovers around. It's still not dry properly, but I would like to try to color it. I do have here this brown, dark brown. It should be dark brown if it will be working. It's quite dry again. Oh yeah, it's working now. It's that dark brown colored with alcohol with acrylic paint, my shoe wax, and I wanted to do this in the very dark color as well to match it with that rest of the journal. So I'm just gonna try to dab this one and hope for the best. It looks like it could work. I do have all dry. I really like the look of the fabric now when the cheesecloth or I mean when the tissue copied the cheesecloth underneath. I really like that look. First I thought I'm gonna put inside these images, but then I totally forgot that I wanted to use these in this journal, these images of apothecary bottles and herbs. I really love them, and I think they will look amazing in this one. First I'm gonna cut the extras around. And I'm gonna copy the shape of my cover quite closely, but not exactly. I'm gonna keep there about 1 millimeter, just a small amount of the chipboard cheesecloth with that tissue, and then try to, well, I'm gonna try it here on the bottom first, if it will do what I would like to do. I do have here my nail file. I think I will need new one because this is too much destroyed. Oh yeah, that will make nice kind of like distressed edge. So I'm gonna continue with same process all around of this cover. Cut the cheesecloth with the tissue about 1 millimeter from the edge of my cardstock, and then sand it with my nail file just to make it more vintagey. I have all edges sanded with my nail file, and it looks quite good the way I was kind of wanted, that it does have edges, it does have that distressed look. So now that inside, I'm gonna rip the images on the sides. I want them. I did print out my images on 120 GSM paper, and they do have a grain this way. As you saw me, it went down nicely, those fibers. It will go worst this way, I'm guessing. Oh yeah. When it's going like straight, there you have your fibers. When it's going this way, it's across the fibers. So here, I'm gonna actually use a ruler here on the bottom and rip my image under that shelf. That rest here on the top I can sand later. Okay, so one I'm gonna be gluing here. I'm gonna leave this space here without any image, because there I will be sewing my little signature, and all the edges around this I'm gonna be distressing. Okay, so this will be here. I'm gonna rip apart this one the way I would like to see it. I think I would like to see here this window. Oh, come on. So I do have placed my images, glued them down, and I'm gonna grab my distress ink and play a little bit with distress inks to kind of, you know, disappear the edges. Maybe I will glue here piece of cheesecloth, just or maybe I wanted to use in this journal also my tea bags. Maybe tea bags will be great to use here, and leave the edges kind of free, fly, free to fly, I mean, not free. I'm using Spectrum Noir Seal Brown right now, but I'm thinking I'm gonna pull out also Tim Holtz Vintage Photo, because for this journal I found it very useful. That Vintage Photo from Tim Holtz, it does have such a beautiful color, such a beautiful warm tone, and it always looks amazing. Okay, I'm gonna give it a try. Oh yeah. piece of my laser print got scratched here. I'm gonna give it a try here as well. I think here it will be impossible because I do have that glue, and I think the glue makes the cover like color proof. No, it did add a little bit of that. Especially here, it caught nicely. A piece of cheesecloth or these. Just to add their texture. Here and here. Cheesecloth. I think this one will be okay. I'm gonna add there a little bit of glue just in the middle. Place this. As you can see, the edges of this cheesecloth are not gonna go to the glue, so they will be free, and then I can use my distressing tool, which makes this cheesecloth nice and distress. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more glue over it and let it dry. I think it's all dry, so I'm gonna take my beautiful distressing tool and start kind of distress it. And it just got totally new feeling. I'm gonna add there a little bit of the brown ink. This sponge is perfect for making the fabric nice and warm. And now I think I'm ready to sew in my signatures, so I'm gonna be using just simple pamphlet stitch. I hope I'm remembering that right, and do just very simple little journal with few pages, and I really love the look of these. I will add few pages here as well. I've got here these 2 pages, and I'm gonna start to rip off the paper. Yeah, here I'm going with the fiber. Oh, nice. And this one will be interesting. Yeah. Oh, come on. And I'm gonna distress it all from both sides with seal brown and with vintage photo, kind of mix them. I think I'm gonna start with vintage photo. No, vintage photo I'm gonna take after seal brown. I do have them both ripped on the sides and distressed with my inks. So one. I'm gonna start to place it somehow in my journal. This way, and the second one, I think I will like it here. But maybe first I'm gonna actually spray it with, oh, where is the spritz? And to let this soak. And I think now it's a little bit better. The ink got nicely spread. So I can place my decorative pages inside. Yeah, I would like to have this one here. And this one probably here, yes. Yes. Now I can sew it into my cover. I'm gonna place my signature together with that cover into the cradle and just poke 3 holes. One kinda in the middle. And then on the sides about 1 inch from the edge here. And same on the opposite side. Because of that cradle, hopefully I will have the holes through the, yeah, all these layers and in the right position. Not on the side, but in the fold, actually. So I'm gonna go from outside to the middle. Oh yeah, come on. Keep in there enough of thread to one side, to the opposite side. Come on. And back to the outside. Back to the outside. Here I'm gonna make a knot. And I can use these threads to actually close the journal. Very simple closing and very simple, but I think beautiful journal. I do have here lots of space for writing, no any pockets, any extra, openings, just simple writing journal with beautiful pictures. And I'm gonna move to this window. It's just very dark and very plain. So what I was thinking, I like these images of those herbs, which I shared with you recently in last few months or weeks. So I'm gonna choose one of these. Maybe this one, it's not bad. Maybe from here I can cut some of the images, and I would like to add here also some like proper bottle. And I do have these. I will also share packaging where I am using packaging video where I am using these little bottles. This is Prima Marketing mold. I did show you in the last video this mold, and I already colored them. They are so much fun to work with. I left the material I used, which I showed you in that, not sure which video it was, but I showed you that I made these kind of like white or ivory colored bottles from resin. So I left that and I just painted around it with the black acrylic paint. And I'm gonna choose the picture. I think I will use these two and just kind of ripped pieces, which I'm gonna glue here and here and do their kind of like collage, decorative collage using these images. Now I'm gonna be ripping. Yeah, my paper, look at this. That paper is very weird. Okay, it's ripping on layers. All right. So for this part here on this spot, I'm gonna use this. Okay. And here. Oh, shoot. This way. Okay. Yeah. So first I'm gonna distress the edges, then I'm gonna glue these images on these spots. For distressing, I'm gonna be using Spectrum Noir inks. One is that seal brown, and this one, it's very dark. It's called Pebble, and it's alcohol-proof ink, but I like the color, the tone. So I'm gonna start with seal brown and just add the darkness. Then to the edges, I will add that other one. So I did color them, and I think it's going good together. So I'm gonna glue it down. Here. And here. And now my bottles. So I was thinking I'm gonna place here and there. Here on the bottom, I'm gonna be using a piece of cheesecloth, and this with the texture. This is kind of like leftover of the fabric with beautiful embroidery in it, and I really like it, and I think it will looks amazing here because of that embroidery. So I'm gonna color that with my inks. So I do have two pieces of this colored to that darker tone, and I do have piece of cheesecloth, and I'm gonna make just some layers to make it like a windows next to those cabinets, you know, with bottles. I'm gonna add the glue here, add the glue here, and I'm gonna prepare my gel for gluing those bottles. So that bigger one will go right here on the bottom. I need to go a little bit far with the glue. And here, before I will glue this second one, I'm gonna have a look on my tea-dyed papers, or not tea-dyed papers. I think I'm gonna be using embossed paper, embossed tea-dyed paper. So I do have embossed tea-dyed paper with these lines, and I think it will look awesome. You have one here, so maybe that I can add there, or other choice, I do have here this. It's one of the papers I dried in my oven, and I went a little bit farther than I should, and it's kind of like too much. So maybe maybe I can use, I do have somewhere one which is even more baked, and when I kind of squeeze it, it's breaking on the pieces, on amazing pieces, I have to say. I think I found that the one which I kind of like overbaked. Yeah, and it's falling apart. That's what will happen to your paper if you will overbake it. But the pieces are so cool. So I will just try to use them to actually decorate this. Okay, so I do have this embossed piece. I did distress it with vintage photo from Tim Holtz from Ranger, and with that seal brown from Spectrum Noir. And I'm just gonna start to do kind of like small layering. You will need tweezers, glue, and I will start to put edges on that. Okay. I do have bits and pieces here and there, and I ripped another part from those images, and I'm thinking to place them here and then cover all of that with these die cuts. This is Tim Holtz, and I don't remember exactly, but I'm planning to place them kind of like around, and then bottles. So I'm gonna just glue this. And now these, kind of put it all together. It got a little bit ripped off, but I don't mind actually. I can place now these decorative parts the way I want. So I'm gonna glue it over it. I glued that, and I'm gonna be using this regular gel gloss. This is clear drying heavy body acrylic medium. It's perfect for gluing any kind of filigrees, metal pieces, these resin pieces. It's really wonderful, so I'm gonna use that. Glue my bottles on, and then it needs to dry, so I'm gonna sort out my kitchen. We got flooded twice because first time it was our old washing machine broke down, so we got flooded in our kitchen. We went to buy a new washing machine, and when we tried to switch washing machines, the valve with that on the piping with the water, this is very old house and no one cares about this maintenance. I don't know how to do it, and the landlady, she just doesn't care. So they are very rusty, they are stuck, and when we try to stop water, it did look like we stopped the water, but I think inside it got broken. So when I took the piping off from my old washing machine, it actually didn't, the water wasn't stopped. So we got flooded. So we're gonna sort out my kitchen. I'm getting tired of all these unhappy accidents in this house. It's just getting too much. Yeah. But it's good to learn. If one day we will have our home, I know these main switches for water, for gas, for electricity. That will be something what I will remember forever, actually, to make sure that they are working. They are not rusty, they are, working. If there is need to switch off the water or electricity or gas, so that main, valve will work, actually. Okay, so I do have these, and here on the top, I'm thinking I'm gonna place this one here and this one over it. Yeah, like this. And I'm gonna let it dry. So I'm gonna, because I do have here this, I'm gonna continue. It's wonderful gel, this one gel. It holds really nicely, and I know if I will use this, it will actually hold forever, probably. Like this. Oh, sorry, that was my head. I did hit my camera, sorry for that. And now this. And glue it down. Okay, now I need to let it sit for probably 2-3 hours to make sure these bottles will get glued nicely and they will hold nicely. I didn't place them to the fold, they are far from the fold, so this can be folded over. Yeah, I need to make sure this is the good way. As you can see, I didn't put the leaves too much in that fold. I do have one here, but everything it's on this side or on this side. So here it's not so many kind of like bigger piece of that die in the fold. Okay, now I need to let it sit I do have all glued. I'm so tired after drying and cleaning our kitchen. It's still not dry. I have to say I really love this one. I'm so happy I made these bottles designs because here they are sitting really nicely. So for these eyelets, I'm gonna do covering page from fabric. The fabric I chose is this. I hope I'm saying that right, that it's called linen, hopefully. It's that little bit heavier fabric for blinders, window blinders or curtains. And it's really beautiful. It's very nature style and I really love that. I used same fabric for the covers, so I think it will work together. I have cut a piece of that fabric which folded on these 3 folds, or you know, kind of like 3-fold. It fits perfectly on my background and I can, you know, fit to those eyelets. So I'm gonna be working on that now. And I'm gonna make sure that I do see where the folds are. So I'm gonna take a pencil and make marks for myself. I'm gonna color it anyway, or I can actually don't have to do that. I'm gonna take stamps and start to stamp straight away. I'm gonna be using these splatterlicious textures from Phil Martin. These stamps are really awesome. If you are from overseas and you can't find them, I do have these stamps now. So just let me know if you want them for my Patreons. I will have really good price. My ambassadors, you don't have to be worried. You will get them, definitely. They are already on the way. So for my ambassadors, these stamps are already on the way. Yeah, now I will see. I would like to have edges on this piece, kind of like rough and distressed. So I'm gonna be pulling the threads from all 4 edges and make the edging very fluffy and kind of like nature distressed. I do have that beautifully, you know, raggedy, I think, raggedy edge on all 4 sides, and I'm gonna be using zigzag stitching, I guess. I'm gonna have a look what will be there. Well, I think I actually would like to have there something like, is that number 20? It looks beautiful. Something more decorative, something what I don't use, you know, usually or at all. Also the flowers, they are awesome. I love these flowers. Okay, I'm gonna be using that number 67. 67, they are kind of like flowery, I guess, that one. It looks amazing. I love it. So with that, I'm gonna now sew around all 4 edges. 60. Uh, 67. Button N. Okay, I'm gonna be changing the path and sewing. I do have that decorative sewing all around. I do have this in the color which I really like. I think it does match the inside, the darkness, and it doesn't make it too dark. So what I would like to do here on the top, I would like to get the same color. I'm gonna show you what I did. I'm not sure how that will work. I have used my colored shoe polish, which I added acrylic paints, and what I did, I just sprayed that fabric very heavily with water, and I did color with this one. This is book cover. And I can kind of spray it too much in with the water, but I will try to do it a little bit different way. I do have here a little bit of water. I'm gonna add there the color from this one. Kind of make it more watery. Yeah. And just use a brush and literally paint it. Oh, I will need more water. This is too dark. Okay, I will need more water, and I'm gonna paint it all over because I really like that darkness on this. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more water. I think this will do what I want. So I do have covered the cover as well, colored with that shoe paint. I need to let it dry. This is dry already, so this I'm gonna put aside and let it dry through the night. I'm gonna continue with this one. Here I will have pocket. Here, and this will be like a flap, and I wanna add there those eyelets. So I'm gonna bring my book back just for marking the eyelet holes. Sorry for that shaking. So I'm just gonna bring this strip of fabric back. I do have one eyelet right on the end of this, another right on the end of this, so there I will probably don't put eyelets, but I do have another one here. I need something more visible, I guess. Here, here, and here. Okay, and then on both ends I'm gonna place this to dry. And I think first I will fix actually those eyelets, just to make sure I will have them there. Because the eyelets are kind of spread on these ends as well, and I can't, the eyelets in that book, they are on this end and on this end exactly, and it will be hard to fix here eyelets to make, you know, kind of nice spread. I decided to go a little bit different way. Instead of eyelets, I will sew to these points. These, they are the rings which I am using on my eyelets, actually on these grumettes, on these big ones, where I'm fixing them. So from one side is going this eyelet, from other side is going this, and then it's getting squeezed and it's holding really nicely. So I'm gonna sew here just these rings, and I will use it as a holder later. So I do have sewn these rings, and I cut from that left, from the sheet, I cut this image, and I was thinking to add it here on the front somehow, just like decoration. Maybe it will be cute. So I'm gonna grab my nail file. I also had to took off the rest of my fake nails, just because I did another cleaning and drying of the carpets, which are still very damp. and got totally damaged, so I will be without them. Yeah, somehow have to have fun with it, right? So I'm gonna kind of like, what is that right word? I'm so tired, I'm sorry. Distress the edges, I wanted to say. And then I'm gonna use also distress inks, of course. I'm gonna glue the image here. Before I will glue it, I'm gonna use distress inks, and I will also use inks to add it here around then. Inks and stamps. Those splatterlicious stamps. This is my nearly used, all of it. I need to open that new one. It does make beautiful tone, this one. Oh yeah. So first I'm gonna glue it down, and here I'm gonna use PVA glue because it holds much better. I should bring my bigger bottle, I guess this is too small. And place it right here. And I'm gonna place my fabric with that image into my big shot, and I'm just gonna go through to kind of press that image to that fabric. I do have there all these sandwiches, so it's quite tight, and just press it inside. Come on. Yeah. Now I can let it dry properly and then distress these edges one more time. And I'm gonna try to stamp all around. And I'm gonna be using again this pebble color, that darker one. And I will try how that will look like. Yeah, I think this will be actually really good. And also add it a little bit around. Okay. And I'm gonna be using also Tim Holtz stencils and do some stenciling around with the darker ink. Oh yeah, just those shadows around. Oh yes. And this is how the page or how the pocket will looks like. Now I need to sew it here and here to make a pocket, but before I will sew it together, I wanna add there some closure. That's what I'm kind of struggling. I'm not sure which closure I wanna add here. I did stenciling here as well and here as well, and I really like it. I like that look. I'm gonna bring back my book and just have a look. Oh, I think it will look lovely here. What kind of closure? Well, I think I'm gonna sleep on it. So I'm gonna sleep on it. I will decide that morning what should be here. Yeah, I'm gonna sleep on it, and tomorrow morning I will decide. So I will be here. I will be back in second, and it will be tomorrow morning. So it's very next morning. Last night I also added few of these lovely little bottles to this front picture. I really like that. They are kind of sitting there really nicely, and it looks like they are popping from the wall, you know. So I really like that look. I decided to not do any closure. I'm just gonna sew it here, and then fix these rings together with those eyelets. So I'm gonna take my sewing machine and just very simple straight stitching. I'm gonna do it on my sewing machine as that stitching is strong and it's nice and it will hold this pocket. So just very simple straight stitching. Here I went front and back few times just to make sure that this entry will be very strong. And I do have my simple pocket done. I really like that. I like that simplicity. I know it can be more complicated, but I don't see reason here. You know, it should be something what I will like. So now, to fix it. How long is this one? I do have this. Maybe this could work, actually. I will see. So I'm gonna go through the bow here and then an eyelet. Catch it on half. Make a knot. Not too tight. Yeah, just like that. And I will go which way? So, and make a knot. How about that? Just simple holding. I'm guessing that I will make just simple knots, nothing too complicated. Okay, hopefully it will get to the end. Oh yeah, hopefully. Well, I think it looks really good. It looks like it's exactly what I wanted, that primitive look. So I do have my lovely pocket here, and on this, just because I really like this look, I decided to bring the frames I have created, because I tried, you know, to place them, and I really like how it looks like when I see through to these frames what is behind them. So I'm gonna play a little bit with the position which I like to have here. Maybe this way. I think I like it the most this way. Yeah. And to put these two frames together, I'm gonna be using these leaves. They are from, I'm not sure what kind of fabric it is. It's some kind of plastic fabric. They are very strong, very soft and very strong, so they will probably, hopefully, hold my frames. First, what I need to do is color the backside, and as there is that resin, I know any inks will don't get that. So I'm gonna try my acrylic paints. I'm gonna also try the same color I used for coloring this. If it will work, you know, this one. So I'm gonna try that first. And if this will don't work, I will take my acrylic paint and use that. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Anywhere the resin is, the color doesn't catch. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry. So it's all dry, and I think I can start to work, yeah, this way. Okay, so first I'm gonna put these two frames together here in that corner. That will be here, that will be here. Okie dokie. This way. Now from here, straight, from here, I'm gonna start to attach the leaves, and I will try to attach them the way where I can sew them and cover the frames from this side. So maybe this way, and then, you know, this way, and something between, something like this. I'm guessing more this way. So I will build around sheet. Like if this will be extended, some like large sheet, which I will be able to fit into that book. So I'm gonna get my sewing machine, because this will be mostly sewing job, as I did try to glue these leaves before and it didn't work. So my sewing machine. I'm gonna use just straight stitching. Yeah, and I will sew this straight away from this side. Just here. And then here. I have straight frames. Yes, good, that way. So here. Yeah. I'm gonna cut these strings after I will have everything sewn, but for now it's okay. Now here one, totally. Now here one, and cover the back part. So I think here I'm gonna go this way. Yeah, this way. Much better. Now here between, I'm gonna use this leaf and stitch it here and stitch it here. I think like this. So that's that, and now here, lay it flat so I can see how it's supposed to be. I'm gonna cut off the strings around to see actually what I do have here. Good. Okay, I think that will do the job. So I'm gonna continue with this sewing from all sides. Here I'm gonna go with this. Yeah, this way. Okay, just too many threads. this, I will say. Oh yeah, okay. And now one between, I think this way. This way. I do have my page sewn. I really like it. It looks, I don't know, it looks so cute. So it will be here, and I'm thinking to use this piece, which will be then glued on one of these hinges. And on that, I will try to sew this. Just a part of it, I guess. I will see, especially those leaves. And here I will somehow try to fit it just exactly. So it will fold over the edge of this one. Before I will do so, I would like to make it, you know, decorative. So I'm gonna be using embossing folder. And I do have here this beautiful embossing folder from Creative Expression. It's those diagonal floral vines. So that's what I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna try, oh yeah, I can place it there this way and then flip it over. So the sides will be embossed. How I will do it? In the middle or sides? In the middle. This way. Yep. So it's embossed like this. And I'm gonna take my inks and ink it to make it darker and more, you know, suitable for the colors I do have around. I'm using walnut stain. And I think I will actually keep it this way. It brings these colors kind of together. So now the harder part, I will need to sew it all together somehow like this. And I think I do have it. So now just glue it on that hinge from here, and I'm gonna color this side as well, but with the same color I used on the fabric here. Yeah, like this. I think that will be better. If I will glue it on that hinge, it will all work together much better way, those colors. So I'm gonna put the glue here and just glue it on that hinge and let it dry. It needs to sit for some time. So I'm gonna pause my camera and I will come back once it's holding nicely. And that is how it looks for now. Look at that view. I really love how it looks like through to those resin glasses here and here. It's so cute. It looks like behind is some room, you know, behind is some cabinet with bottles with herbs and stuff like that. I really love that look. I'm not too big fan about this kind, like too white. It's not white, it is kind of with darker colors, but yeah, I will don't mind. I love this embossed effect. It looks really cute here, and I definitely love these bottles. They look so amazing. The look of these bottles, like they are popping from that wall, from that shelf. It's awesome. So this is the pocket. Here we have that flip up and that, you know, popping, and I need to finish this page somehow. I haven't thought about that. Look at that, I totally forgot. And here these bottles, they do look awesome as well. I love these bottles from Prima Marketing. It looks amazing, especially with these digital somehow. It happened. And here is the notepad or notebook with the beautiful tissue slash cheesecloth cover. So that's sitting in that drawer inside, and I still need to finish this. I do have here one more hinge. I'm not sure if I will use it right now. I think I had some idea, but I forgot. I'm gonna try to take my inks and kind of ink the thread here and here, you know, kind of make it more the way I want. But I need to finish these two, and and I really hope it will don't take that long time. It took me 2 months just to get to this point. I can't believe it taking so long time. Lately everything takes too long time to me. Look at that look. Look at this. It's so gorgeous. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for your understanding and patience with me. I really appreciate that very much, that you're always very calm and you're not, you know, rushing things on me. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, that's for now. I checked the digitals. They are now ready to go. So I'm going to share with you some digitals. And I will come back soon with another video, and hopefully with finishing this book, because it's getting there to that point which I do have in my head. So hopefully soon. I really hope so. Till then, have a beautiful day. Take care of yourself, and I will see you soon. Bye.